Going to take to try and pressure Iceberg here in this first game of Na'Vi versus Team Spirit as the draft is on the way. And we can already see...
Oh boy.
Jungle Heroes, Earth Spirit.
I want to add that these first two picks went really fast because we see a little bit of the draft here, and I normally try to go in when the first two bans are done, but the first two bans were done, and I lead in and boom, there's 4 heroes selected. Feels like
Don't
that
lie, Shiva. You were secretly trying to pilot the helicopter.
Yeah,
we're wise to your tricks.
It's right there. People could have seen me if I tried to do that.
So, as we were saying, Team Spirit is definitely trying to get a lot of aggression on that mid lane. I mean, that's basically Earth Spirit in a nutshell. They're going to want to try to get into that mid, do those early game ganks, and make sure that Dendy's going to be having some rough times. But what does the Enchantress tell us on that team? Anything at all? Is it just going to be a kind of a pushy lineup? Is she...
Do they ever run off-lane Enchantress?
I'm not sure
Spirit?
I've seen it.
Yes. Just very rarely, but they have run it
I think
once.
they have run it once or twice, but it's not like...
No, it's not standard.
I mean, maybe it's a page of the Ad Finum book where you basically just tri-lane mid. They sent the Enchantress and Bounty Hunter mid, so it could be a dual. I guess more likely the dual support. We don't really see anyone else run the Earth Spirit mid aside from Weehaw was played it for Secret quite effectively.
Right.
And they did, but nobody else does that.
Right. And they called it their signature hero, Chaos Knight. The respect ban coming out from Na'Vi. They don't want to see any of that. As we wait for the next ban.
It has to be Lycan, right? They have to ban Lycan trope.
Yeah.
Against Na'Vi.
Na'Vi is one of the only people that run Lycan anymore, and it's very
win
successful.
80% win rate or something on Lycan.
He's very strong. So.
Yeah, I mean, we did see there are some ways to deal with this hero. Vici dealt with it when they got Beastmaster, they got Earthshaker. Fissure's really good against Lycan in fights, but I think I think Beastmaster is the hero to have if you want to play against Lycan just for the roar.
They didn't ban it.
They did not ban it.
They leave it in. Maybe they want to pick it themselves? I mean, that is something.
Cameron's looking at the helicopter just thinking, gyrocopter, whoa!
Oh,
let's hope their piloting skills are better than ours.
I was going to say,
jeez, oh no!
Our camera guy.
We influenced them too much, guys.
Dude, where was your gyro voice when we were trying to fly that thing?
There was not a lot of flying happening.
So looking at the big Dendy heroes that are available, Queen of Pain and Invoker are the two that come to mind here. They were favoring the Queen of Pain a lot in the previous series, or in most of the recent matches. The Venge gets grabbed though, so
we're gonna be seeing a Void.
Heavy physical damage right now.
Yeah, is that a carry Venge or what is that?
It's a really good roaming partner with the Chen. The setup stun's nice. There's nothing really. The swap isn't that crucial as of yet, but they still have not seen Spirit's big initiator aside from Earth Spirit.
Yeah. Swap's very good against Enchantress as well.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, it stops her using her range against you.
Yeah.
You just get her right beside your teammates.
And there's one place Enchantress doesn't want to be. It's in the middle, initiated on first. I mean, all that burst damage knock her out first. So
there's always that slight chance of a safe lane Venge, but I don't really think that's what Na'Vi
cross your fingers. Come on.
I think they're looking at a Team Spirit's draft, and they know they drafted their core, so they're like, we can draft their core after this.
Yeah. And if they have Beastmaster, Venge, and Lycan, you got your Necrobook, you got your auras are going to be out of this world. You're going to push so fast.
Oh man, you called it. It's an aura game. That's it.
Oh.
What else do we got? What other auras are there?
Drow Ranger.
There could be a Drow.
Get a Drow?
Yes.
Doom eat the Alpha Wolf.
Yeah. More auras.
I'm feeling it.
Well, you can just get an Alpha Wolf with a Chen as well.
That's true.
Something's in the air tonight, kids, and it's auras. Don't look at me, LD.
Don't look at me.
Get your eyes off of me, you judgmental man.
But you can actually push so fast. It's very scary, and I don't think Team Spirit. But it's not not enough by itself.
You just fight them. You get in their face with Night Stalker. You run at them with Gyrocopter early game, like when they try and group up and push, and then.
Yeah, this is for Spirit. This is much more about winning the lanes and getting an advantage like through the first 5 to 8 minutes or so. Enchantress great against the Chen. The Earth Spirit can put a lot of pressure out as well, and hopefully it's that first big Gyrocopter rotation that's key for Spirit. So when he gets level 6, level 7, whether it's just like a aggressive style smoke gank, you know, a la C-Deck at TA5, or if they just gank his lane with the Earth Spirit, but taking some objective and slowing down the push from Na'Vi is going to be really important.
5 seconds remaining.
Kind of combats the Hawk quite a lot as well, the Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Vision, the ulti.
Vision is something that was hugely important at Starladder. I think it was underemphasized in the last series a bit. We did see the one Beastmaster. They could have gone for Night Stalker, they didn't.
And Bounty Hunter is of course good for Vision.
Oh yeah, and at Starladder they did.
Yeah.
So there's the Dendy Quap. No big surprises. This is kind of their bread and butter right now.
Yep. Looks like both teams are kind of picking some comfortable picks that we've seen.
And
I
this
like
kind of
the
looks
van,
like
no
a drow
surprise.
draft, to be honest.
Navi
You know, you
It
go
definitely
Queen
could be a
to
draw
back.
pick here.
Yeah.
Drow is not
yes.
that great against Earth Spirit
Or
Night Stalker,
Nightstalker.
but they have the Venge for the defensive swap, and they have the Chen setback, so...
And it's the only reason why they didn't pick up. Like, if they wanted to pick the Lycan, they should have picked it up now because it's an obvious ban as last ban
Yeah.
for Team
10
Spirit. So
seconds remaining.
they know it's going to be Lycan ban. They're pretty comfortable that they can still pick up either Lycan
5
or Drow.
seconds
Both
remaining.
would be good.
Dendi Quap for sure would have been
Team
banned had they not picked it.
Yes.
Queen of Pain against
Because it's like the
Gyrocopter.
last big
Ranger
Dendi
at
hero
your
that's left.
service.
What
Navi
have you
snap
got
it.
to say, Slacks?
Wind Rangers.
Were you like abused by
Huh? Wind Rangers?
By Wind
the
Runner.
ginger lady
Or redheaded ladies?
as a wee lad?
Wind Rangers.
Multiple of them.
Well, that was a fun game. Good job, Navi. Happy to see you
We
coming
should
out
make
with
him
an
play
easy
Wind Ranger
victory.
Wars. For
God.
All day.
All right, so why did they pick Wind Ranger here? I mean, she has
She
pretty
has good
damage
depush.
against
The
the
counter
Quap,
push
right?
is decent. yeah.
difficult to smoke gank with
Yep.
the Chen.
Yep.
5 seconds remaining.
Just gives you a bit of everything.
But Quap's going to get an Orchid and you can't do anything.
I mean, you don't not pick
Reserve
Wind Ranger
time.
because Quap might eventually have an Orchid.
It's going to be your first item, and she's going to have Drow Aura. There's no way that you can right-click against the Queen of Pain with Drow Aura.
Wind Run's pretty
If
good
there's a
against
draw.
Beastmaster. You know, he has a lot of summons.
But she's going to get
You can
help though.
dodge
Like,
that.
Earth Spirit's going to come mid. Enchantress is going to
Yeah,
come
okay.
mid. This is not going to be a 1v1 lane.
Yeah, for sure.
Navi never
No,
plays
we
1v1
talked about
lanes
that
good
actually,
anymore.
yeah. There's gonna be a lot of
the
backup.
Spirit draft as well. Like it could well be 3 heroes mid. So
I would like to see a little bit of burst damage coming out from Navi, though, just to be able to deal with that Wind Ranger. I mean, what are you guys thinking on their last pick?
I think Drow is very risky, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's
at
very
this
all
point,
in, yeah.
you don't really want to go Drow versus Wind
There's,
Ranger.
if you
That's
want like a
hard-
safer option,
Yeah.
Sven comes to mind as something that we've seen a lot of teams running. It's not really a go-to
You got loads
Navi
of
hero.
auras,
There's
extra
Juggernaut,
armor.
who's not terrible for the healing ward, helps sustain the push, good physical damage.
The extra armor is really good against Wind Ranger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think there's an obvious Navi hero, though.
Nirana.
And we're going to see something that's not
Okay.
obvious.
All right.
All right.
Priestess of the Moon.
Well, they either know exactly what they're
Milady.
doing or
But
they
is
have no
that a
idea.
core Wind Ranger? Yes, it is. It's a Ditcher Ramarana. Okay.
All
So
right, here we
now
go.
that
Great
we know
prediction,
the
guys.
draft,
We really nailed that Mirana.
Yes. That's why we are
Pat
analysts,
ourselves on
guys.
the
We can
back.
totally analyze the draft and see what's going to happen before. Never mind. What's going to happen? Who's going to win? Which box are you going to go for? Navi or Spirit? I'm going to be on the Navi hype train. You can put me down.
Woo! You don't have to ask me. Wind Ranger. Whoever doesn't have Wind Ranger, easy win. Navi.
I love Wind Runner, so I'm gonna go the other way.
Someone has to believe in Team Spirit. And
Yeah, I
it
call
smells like it to me. All aboard the Team
Okay.
Spirit
There you go.
train.
Oh, it's a head-to-head fight. Perfect split. Okay, person that loses this has to spend 10 minutes in a room with the helicopter. While
That
they-
Well, she
that
was
sounds
driving.
amazing.
But
I want to lose.
who is having the control?
yeah, we have the control. You're locked in the room with the helicopter.
box, like,
We're going to
lost.
find out who's going to be in a death box, apparently, and who is going to be controlling the other person's face. It is time for Game 1 Navi versus Team Spirit with Odie Pixel and Draskell.
Please.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the casting panel. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm joined by Andy aka Draskell, and we're here for some Na'Vi action. Spirit, we've seen them already once today, they're turning back up again, this time against Na'Vi in a 2-game series, and the game is underway. And Andy, last pick, Adichara Marana. Talk to me about it.
It's a bit of a different approach. I mean, we've seen Safe Lane Mirana in the past, and I think it's one of those heroes where, you know, they were talking about this Sven. Even like heroes like Ursa, I think are okay for Navi. I know Ditchera loves playing that hero, but it's really tough to play into when you're up against an Enchantress, a Wind Ranger, and a Gyrocopter, because all 3 of these heroes have ways of, you know, either
30
dealing damage to you
seconds
through
to back.
BKB, which is obviously your Enchantress. Blink Shackle is always going to be a concern. It's very hard to focus the Wind Ranger in fights as a melee hero in general. And I think like the cores that Team Spirit have, you can pick a melee against one of them, but the other 2 are always going to be good against you. So I think this is a kind of a clever way of bypassing that. There's great teamfight utility as well with the Moonlight Shadow. You have really good burst damage as well. Venge, Queen, Beastmaster, and of course the Mirana. So you can set up for like this roar into an arrow. If you catch somebody out, you can Moonlight Shadow in, you get a free smoke, and they can play as aggressive as they want with the Chen, which I think is kind of a cool thing. Now, Mirana in the safe lane position is one of those things where you're not as reliant on hitting the arrows, and she can be a fairly good right clicker during the mid-late game, but there is always the risk of, you know, Earth Spirit and Night Stalker being very good against Mirana, long duration silences. Obviously, Night Stalker is very high mobility, but you do have some saves on your team as well. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm always excited to see new things. And of course, they are coming off of a pretty successful run in Starladder. They did make it to the grand finals.
Always want to fly.
Courier snipe.
Really nicely done as well. Comes in one. He's going to need a second. He should be able to get. He's going to roll forward for it.
Ooh.
He will get it. He's probably going to pay with his life here.
Yeah, he's definitely done.
Worth?
Oh, absolutely worth. Not even a question. That courier being dead means Dendy is not going to be able to get his bottle. He did end up ferrying the salve out, of course, after getting the bounty rune, but that means Iceberg should have a bit of an easier time in this mid lane. Maybe now we're going to look to see Artstyle help out.
Iceberg being very aggressive here. He's going to win run away. Will still get netted. Always want to fly. Rolls in onto Artstyle. Tries to get the slaps in. Dendy. Throwing his right clicks out onto Always Want to Fly. Forcing him back here. Always Want to Fly taking quite a beating. He's got a sail 3 tangos. So it will be fine. But as you said, yeah, this is going to give Iceberg that very much bit of an edge here in this mid lane again. Dendy. He's got to be careful. Always Want to Fly looks to roll forward. Won't catch on to Dendy. And this Spirit really just going fully in on the mid lane. Power shot won't quite clip Dendy, so the salve won't be cancelled. And it's going to be interesting to see how this mid lane matchup does go. And Iceberg, again, very aggressive. Artstyle coming in, can't quite find the net. Always Want to Fly. He just rolls straight back in onto Artstyle. Dendy looking for the kill onto Iceberg, but Iceberg's going to get first blood. Gets the power shot out, will clip Artstyle, but Dendy, he might just find himself a double. The stun holds him back. Dendy won't be able to blink him for that one. Goldlack's there as well, just in case Dendy looked to go aggressive. So first blood for the Wind Ranger, but in return, Dendy will find a kill onto Iceberg soon after.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a blessing in disguise here, because Artstyle's death does mean that he will be used as a courier to bring Dendy's bottle to the middle lane.
That's true. So Dendy said, go kill yourself, mate. I need
some
my
icing
bottle.
on the cake. But now, obviously, the trade going to be favoring Team Spirit by getting the first blood. But I think Dendy actually killing Iceberg is also something to keep in mind here, too, because it means that he's gotten ahead on the experience department a tiny bit, and both supports now on Team Spirit and Na'Vi respectively going back to their jungle positions. But I think Wind Ranger is one of those heroes that can technically outlane pretty much anyone as long as you're on point with your power shots, and her animation and early game damage is just so freaking good. And honestly, this is kind of like a blast from the past strat from Na'Vi in the first place. This is like TI3 era, you know what I mean? It's very old school.
Dendy.
He's actually got 2 points into Wind Run. Is that just respect to the rotation from the Chen with Dagger? Or is... I think it has to be, right?
Oh. I mean, Iceberg is playing this lane so aggressively.
Yeah.
It really is putting Dendy into his place. And CS-wise, it is showing, as you said, 12 of 3 for the Wind Ranger. He is getting that edge as expected with the power shot plays. Bottom lane, Funnick. Just trading hits with Seneko. He'll chomp on a Mango, go for the void on Seneko. Seneko turns around with a magic missile, but there'll be a rotation coming in from the Earth Spirit. Looking to catch one out. He misses the roll forward, though. And Funnick might be the first to go down. He gets the void out again on Seneko, but Seneko will get the kill with the help of Dichara. Ends up going down himself, but they managed to kill the Night Stalker first there, so another 1-for-1 trade going on this bottom lane. But is it support for an offlaner?
Yeah, a lot of action going on. The trade clearly favoring Na'Vi again. Just getting a little bit better from these exchanges in the early game, but I think this is just going to be kind of an action-packed game in general, just by virtue of the lineups.
Absolutely. 4 minutes in, 3 for 2.
Got a smoke coming in here to mid.
A really nice rotation from Artstyle. By the looks of it, he will get the net out. Iceberg, he's going to win run. Not going to save him against the magical burst, but he still gets himself down, ticking low there with the poison from the dagger. The Hadouken nearly gets him. But the bolt charges get himself back up. Goldlack's coming in as well. He'll set up with a stun from the center onto Artstyle, trying to get the right clicks through. Can he finish this one off? Dendy trying to kill the centaur before it gets close enough to do more damage. Artstyle, he's going to be fine for the time in. Goldlack heals himself forward, trying to move forward onto Artstyle. Artstyle, he goes down. He tries to turn around to help Dendy find a return kill. It looks like it's not going to be successful. Dendy low on the mana, does have a blink, but isn't going to want to jump in aggressively. At the same time, bottom lane, Always Want to Fly did end up going down to the Mirana. Dichara able to find himself a kill there. So all things said and done, Artstyle does lose his life, but it is a kill for Dichara on the bottom lane. So I think the trade once more favors Na'Vi.
And just little inches here in the early game, nothing major. I don't know if I just like blacked out or if he just didn't use Test of Faith when he was ganking the Wind Ranger, because it looked like it was off cooldown when I clicked on it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It was strange though, because I thought they had enough damage to kill Iceberg in the first place. Maybe he just used it right away, and the Hadouken and the net weren't enough to secure it with that. But Iceberg continually living life on the edge in the middle lane. Denny's starting to catch up a tiny bit here.
Oh, top lane.
They have cooldowns, so if the Earth Spirit hits a roll, he should be dead.
And this is something they do need to do as well, because of the fact that Always Wanna Fly has been looking elsewhere across the map. General on the Beastmaster, he's had a pretty good start to this game. It's 5.5 minutes in, he's level 5.5, and he's got 22 for 8 CS. It's been a very good lane for the Beastmaster.
Well, it's because a lot of the time, Always Wanna Fly has been sitting mid, you know. Goblack's been going mid.
Talking about mid, Dendy blings away just in time. Funnick was coming around with a rotation. Didn't quite get the Void out to buy some time for that Shackle shot to have a chance to connect.
I mean, you talk about the Beastmaster, but Funnick is also level 5.
That's true. Both
So-
offlaners having a good game.
There's not much of a difference between them in regards to experience. The farm department is where General's getting ahead.
And we might about to see some offlane on offlane action here with a rotation from Funnick. He's looking towards the Beastmaster, but smart TP from General. Heads to the side shot. TP's back behind the tower.
In the meantime, they lose Goblack in the river by bottom rune, so Na'Vi once again getting the better maneuvers here during the early game.
Yeah, first use of the Sonic Wave there. It's going to be an easy pick-off for Dendy on his quad.
There's just kill after kill happening in this game so far. And with a safe laner like Mirana, I wouldn't be surprised to see Na'Vi just continually apply this pressure, because Mirana is one of those early game heroes who actually does a lot of damage. Like if you land your arrow on a Starstorm, you get the second hit as well. It's not a small amount of DPS that you're adding to any sort of engagement, and that's on top of a Queen, on top of the Venge Stun like we already were talking about. So
Mid lane, Suneko coming with the wraparound, gets the Magic Missile out onto Iceberg. He still does have a win run. He's going to tick off with the Bolt Charge, just trying to heal himself up. Ditchera jumping forward. He does have an arrow. It looks like he's going to throw it down. The poison bringing him incredibly low there. Iceberg turns around with the power shot. He's going to TP back to base to play it safe, and he will manage to keep himself alive there. So the rotation with Ditchera, unable to find that kill onto the Windrunner, proving to be a little bit too elusive.
I think he just TP'd a bit late. They even had a high ground ward, so they knew that he wasn't going to be backing. If he TP'd when the Avenge was starting to wrap around instead of after the stun pretty much had already been cast, I think that was free. Or maybe he just thought that there was enough damage between just Dendy and the Venge to kill in the first place. But a little bit of a misplay. Not the end of the world, though. Gyrocopter is pulling ahead on farm because of that rotation, though. He's 56-4, highest in the game by a wide margin here. So Illidan he's getting his early game on. And this is the type of hero where, you know, we're talking about Mirana's fight capabilities as well, but Gyrocopter is no slouch in that regard.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're talking about how Na'Vi are going to be coming in with these pushes and looking for these fights. And yeah, Illidan's going to be there to answer them every time. Top lane Always Wanna Fly and Goblack. They smoked up, moved in. Onto General, the control there, keeping him under the cooldown, and now they'll start to chip in with the impetus. General will turn around, throw out the axes, but it's a nice smoke there from the support duo. And that'll set up a bit of action there for Illidan to get involved.
He actually had 2 Hawks there. How did he not get the roar off? Was the animation just that long that Earth Spirit can just silence you, just reactionary before he even saw you? I don't know, that's weird. Because I'm pretty sure he walked out of vision because it was nighttime. And General had vision with 2 Hawks, like one of them died after the fact, but that was a little bit strange. Maybe ES just has that fast a cast point that it doesn't matter.
Bottom lane, TP will be coming down from Dendy to join them up here. Nice little bit of bottle sharing here to top Ditchera up, and they're going to smoke up and move forward. Funnick, I'm going to try and catch him out. At the same time, top lane Illidan, he has been roared up. In comes the army from Artstyle. The control onto Illidan. General getting the right clicks in, and he'll do it. Kicks him in the face, takes down the Gyro. Same time, bottom lane, Na'Vi still trying to set up for this gank onto Funnick. Funnick, if he comes too far down the lane, he could be in a pretty bad position.
He is like so patient right now.
It's going to pay off. It looks like he's going to be safe.
You know how hard it is to just watch creep to die like that? Like every time I have to do that in a game because I feel like I'm going to get ganked, I die inside. So insane senses there from Funnick.
And I mean, Na'Vi, they're moving straight over to this side of the map. They want to try and find more. It's apparent that Team Spirit, they do want to try and fight this. They'll get the kickoff. Lovely stun onto Suneko, rolling forward here, catching the slow. Now with the Moonlight Shadow, Na'Vi looking to disengage. Have they got the detection? The power shot coming through? No, they haven't. Suneko's going to be fine.
Arrow.
Will get himself an arrow, flies through. Beautiful connection onto Always Wanna Fly. Sonic Wave from Denny comes through, and he'll clean up the Earth Spirit. The Team Spirit, they were looking to try and fight into Na'Vi as they came over, but the detection wasn't there, and the arrow from Ditchera was on point.
That was a really nice turnaround, and probably the only time this game I think we'll see the Earth Spirit walking around without dust. Although right now he can't really afford it, so maybe the Enchantress has to buy one for him. Because that's one thing about Mirana that's really annoying, is you always have to have sentries and dust together. Because you need sentries when you think that they're going to initiate on you, and you need dust when you want to actually go for kills, right? Because they obviously can just walk out of sentry range, but if you're pushing as 5, you need the sentry vision down to ensure that you don't just get jumped. Because it's like smoke on steroids, more or less.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a very powerful teamfight utility that people have long since forgotten about. Or maybe just because Mirana is not really seen as like a tier 1 safe lane position in this patch. But Na'Vi making a pretty good case for it right now.
Oh, some bore action here. The brothers have been pulled apart and now will fight to the death. They died together, Romeo and Juliet. Mid lane, jumping from Dendi. With the burst onto Iceberg. He's got the win run. He's out of there. But Dendi at the moment, slightly ahead of Iceberg's win range, but it's still very close. It has been a very even matchup in the mid lane for the first 10 minutes of this game, and action-wise, it's been pretty even for both parties, for both the Quap and the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, but it's one of those games where I think that the Wind Ranger is going to have a bit of a harder time, mainly because Wind Ranger's weaknesses in the early game is high magical damage and lockdown. Well, Na'Vi have that in spades, pretty much. Like, they got Beastmaster Roar, Venge Stun, eventually Swap, Arrows, just every tool that you need to be able to burst down a Wind Ranger during these fights. And unlike having a Chen on their team, Na'Vi, with that utility, Team Spirit don't have it. Like, they have an Enchantress heal, but that's a heal over time, and they don't even have a natural mech carrier. So it's a little bit concerning for Team Spirit right now. They are trying to get Always Wanna Fly level 6, which he'll hit very soon. Once they have that available, with a nighttime coming soon as well, might see them try to do something here.
Let's see what they can find bottom lane. Na'Vi, they're ready to kick back though. Seneko and Artstyle in the sidelines. Tichirara in the lane. 4 heroes are being sent down on the side of Team Spirit. Everyone apart from Goblak on his edge. They're ready to try and look for something. They try and lead it with the Void. Still the rest of them hanging back, and now they're going to bring Goblak in as well. It's the full 5-man from Spirit. 3 of them smoked up. They'll start to move into the jungle on the side. Iceberg leading the way, seeing if he can find an opening shackle shot. The arrow comes through.
Oh man, that was close.
And doesn't quite clip anyone here. Looks like Na'Vi are suspicious of the going-ons of Team Spirit.
Out of here.
They certainly are. They're not hanging around for any of this. They see that everyone's off the map. They know that something's going down, and they're absolutely bang on.
Man, their movement and game sense has been on point so far.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just want to fly here up on the high ground, looking to maybe move it from behind, but Na'Vi, they've got 3 heroes here, and a fairly strong push, as we can see. Onto the tier 1, forcing out the fortification. Always Want to Fly. He's going to kick in, gets the stun onto 2, but are they really going to try and lead into this? Hannah God comes out, Na'Vi topped up, back to full health. They'll continue to push onto the tier 1, and they are going to get it. Tier 1 down here in the mid lane. The top lane push was going on as well as the tier 1 down, and now moving on to the tier 2. Funnick will be able to finish off a tier 1 for his own side on the bottom. A 2-for-1 trade. Kripuk now picked up by General. Very greedy positioning here, but it looks like it's going to be fine because the full backups there, the full 5-man of Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're kind of getting pulled apart right now, Team Spirit.
They need something big. They need to do something, and it looks like it's not going to be anything before that tier 2's gone. Another tower for Na'Vi. And Spirit just having to be very, very careful about the fights that they choose to play at this point. Phase drums. Aquila now done on the Gyro, so he's hitting that kind of 13-minute, a bit of a power spike if the fights do kick off. But Na'Vi, Moonlight shadowing. Seeing what they can find, get themselves into position here. Arrow comes out, Always Want to Fly's going to juke it, but they're going to lead in with the Roar. General, not messing about, bursting down, Always Want to Fly, and they're going to get it. They're going to find it. At the same time, I believe a Sonic Wave did come out from Dendi onto Illidan. And indeed, Illidan did feel the full brunt of that. Doesn't end up going down, manages to get himself back to base. Team Spirit now trying to kick back. Moving in onto Seneko, but Na'Vi, they're still hanging around here. Funnick's got to get himself out of this. The arrow comes out, takes down Goblak's creep. Goblak, Iceberg, and Funnick trying to move forward for more, but the slows there from General's Boars, keeping them back. Goblak, he overtakes the creep. Artstyle says, no, that's mine. He takes it right back. One impetus will come out, but Artstyle's fine. Dendi still hanging around, gets himself the rune. They have the control here, Dendi. Using himself up here. Funnick with a lot of mana, so won't be able to follow through with any sort of silence. And Dendi will escape. So very, very tentative play from both sides there. Na'Vi, of course, getting themselves that kill onto the Earth Spirit, and then getting everyone out just in time before Team Spirit are really able to kick back as a full 5.
It's getting a little bit, I don't want to say dangerous for Spirit, but I feel their next engagement has to be, it has to give them something, right? Their Earth Spirit hit 6, they instantly smoked and like TP'd bottom, and that maneuver was dodged by Na'Vi, which is definitely good on them, but they're going to buy another one. They need to utilize this Magnetize. Like, you can't just have Earth Spirit sitting around with his ulti available and not really looking to take fights. If they can get one good fight under their belt, they can potentially even take Roshan with a hero like Wind Ranger, and of course you have Enchantress creeps who can tank it up. It would help them tremendously because as it stands right now, they've only killed 1 tower. And they've lost all of their safe lane towers. I mean, their jungle is totally exposed to any kind of rotation that Na'Vi want to be making. They're going to have the mech on Chen now completed. And you really want to take that fight on Earth Spirit at level 6 before the Chen has his mech, because that way your Magnetize is just that much more threatening, and of course the call down on top of that. But since the mech timing from Artstyle coming out after those
they find
arcanes,
a shackle. Is Dendy going to give them a chance? He is still hanging around. Iceberg moving forward. No, Dendy's out.
That's a tough shackle because, I mean, one of two things happens.
Oh, raw and swap onto Iceberg, bringing the Wind Ranger in. Dendy now on a dominating streak. And just like that, one core down. That's all Na'Vi need to go ahead for more. Dendy just teasing the Blinking straight up behind the tier 2, saying, what are you going to do? Illidan turns up though, Rocket Barrage to the face in general, and he'll find the kill. The question is, can Team Spirit try and move in for more? The kick forward, is he going to catch any of the heroes? Dendy's able to blink away. So it does end up just being a 1-for-1 there. General for Iceberg on his Wind Ranger. But Illidan at least turning up and managing to find a kill for himself there on the gyrocopter.
What was General doing over there, actually? He just kind of like walked in, right? Just walked over, was like, hey, what's up, guys? And then dead. But yeah, the trade is still fine. Na'Vi just seem to take the favorable engagements every single time. Even if it's a 1-for-1, they're just trading the more valuable position for the lesser one. And as it stands right now, they're doing all right. You know, the Chen does fall off to a moderate degree, and of course you are going to have to worry about the ever-impending Night Stalker issue when he gets Aghanims, and then Team Spirit are just going to have an insane amount of vision.
Oh, Dendy caught out by the stun. Look at the silence out as well, the roll for, but Dendy's got the Yules. Yules is himself up, and does have the backup from his team as well. Ditchera throws out an arrow, isn't going to clip onto anyone. Dendy jumping forward with the scream. Now pops out the poison dagger onto Goblack. Ditchera jumps in, and he's going to get it. He bursts down the edge. He'll find himself on, moving on to Always Wanna Fly, gets himself a second with the help of Dendy. 2 kills for the side of Na'Vi.
That double damage, man. Jeez.
Oh boy, and it's going to help with this as well as they get the push onto the tier 2. Na'Vi, they should be able to find this one. Another tower for the side. And now straight away with the smoke.
They could just Roche with this, honestly. Or they could do the tier 1.
The idea here. Straight to Roshan. If they want... Nah, you're right. Just get a bit more map control around that area. Don't allow Team Spirit to kind of get themselves TP'd in. Oh, it's an easy tower as well.
I mean, the nice thing is about their lineup, like Na'Vi this game, is they have Beastmaster Hawk, so a lot of the time it's kind of scary to fight around Roshan because teams will deward.
Oh. Now this could be good. Team Spirit have smoked up.
No hand to God here either on Na'Vi.
If they could find something bigger, that's the question. Na'Vi, they're in the pit, but they've already done it. They've taken down Roche, they find themselves the edges. The kick's to Nose, he actually gets whiffed, doesn't catch anyone. Illidan drops the cooldown, but Dendy uses it up, blinks out. Ditchera silenced up, falling low, and he'll go down, but he's got the ages. Sonic Wave flies through, forcing Team Spirit to scatter. They'll take down Always Wanna Fly in the Earth Spirit. Illidan falling though, they get that one as well. Dendy now unstoppable. Goblack trying to throw out impotence, but he's stuck in the middle of Na'Vi. He's trying to play his way around this, but he gets stunned up by the magic missile. Axe is getting flied through as well. Double kill for Tsuneko. 4 dead on the side of Team Spirit. Iceberg, the only one left alive. Ditchera bangs his drums. He's ready to try and look for more. He doesn't have an arrow. It looks like he himself can't chase. Oh, he blinks forward. He's trying for it here. He manages to get the magical burst, and Iceberg only just getting himself up to the high ground. It might not matter as the right clicks from Ditchera come through. One more will do it. Oh, he's been used up. Dendy said, no, you don't get the kill. I get the kill. Wicked sick for the quad. Blinks himself back out. Artstar with the Hand of God tops them back into tip-top shape, and now comes the tier 3 push. Na'Vi 16-5, 18.5 minutes in. Team Spirit just getting absolutely beaten to pieces here, and it's not finished yet. Swapping into Funnick, they're trying to do what they can in turnaround potential with the cooldown from Illidan. They might be able to do it. They're looking for General, they'll get the Beastmaster kill. Can they find themselves anything more? Great stuff from the Earth Spirit, catches out Artstar and Tsuneko. The flat cannon gets it. Double kill for Illidan. They're holding the base. 3 dead on the side of Na'Vi. Team Spirit have done it in a situation where they're like all the momentum in the world was behind Na'Vi, and the tower stays alive. 3 HP. And tier 3's gonna be fine, living up to its name there with the amount of HP it's got, and that gold swing as well. Team Spirit, they couldn't be happier with that defense. Huge stuff there.
Yeah, especially considering the Aegis was taken from Ditchera around the Roshan pit, so when they're diving that tier 4 to kill Iceberg, I mean, they could have just been hitting the tower, gotten it, and backed up, I suppose, after the fact, but just overstaying their welcome a little bit, not respecting the gyro. Second time, General's kind of just been way too far inside.
It just kind of stands next to the gyro.
Yeah,
like, oh, rocket barrage, boys.
I mean,
Jeez.
obviously, you can tell why. They were really hyped. They're like, all right, we're winning this game, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Absolutely.
It's a very CIS Dota thing to do, so I definitely understand the mentality.
I wonder if Always Wanna Fly was going to let's see if he could catch Andy out there, but it's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
I mean, off the back of that just gold influx. I mean, Always Wanna Fly's been put in a position where he's pretty much got that veil done. And that's going to be pretty huge for the team at this point, even with the gyrocopter, the amount of magical damage. You know, talking about the man, General. He's not been happy with the last 2 situations. There will be a shackle, but it's not going to be enough to save Illidan. General managing to get the revenge that he wanted for the amount of times the Gyro's beaten down on himself. And I mean, that as any is pretty much the biggest kill that Na'Vi could have hoped for in terms of solo pickoffs against Team Spirit, especially after a situation where Illidan was actually starting to get a bit of wind beneath his wings on the gyrocopter.
Yeah, and this 3 health tier 3 tower, it's just gonna melt instantly. 20 seconds, no buyback on the gyro. This is just free racks. There's no glyph available.
20-minute racks. It's not a great position for Spirit to be in. And they're not going to be able to do too much without the gyro alive at the moment. Swap onto Goldblack, magic missile onto him, and Dendi jumps him. The Girard will get himself the cure awarded his way on the Mirana. Indeed, the 3-2-3 skill build here.
This is the I can't decide because all of my abilities are good skill build. I mean, honestly, they're all good.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to put points into, man, power to you. But the interesting thing about this, and I didn't really mention this before, but I was thinking about it, is that their lineup, you have Inner Beast, right? Which obviously you get the attack speed aura, it's 45. And then you have Mirana Leap, which is 32 additional attack speed on top of that. And then you have Alpha Wolf and Venge aura. So your right clicks are actually pretty insane. Even for a team that on paper, you know, you see safely Mirana, but you don't really think about the leap that much. But it actually does quite a bit in these fights. Especially when you're trying to siege high ground, like 32 attack speed is huge.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, not just the attack speed, but the fact that you get the movement speed bonus, you then add that with what the Necro's aura for the movement speed. You're running in and out quicker than, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog on steroids.
Yeah, you pretty much have track speed, but more. Because I think the Taskmaster is, what, 12%? And then the leap is 16? So yeah, it's pretty insane. Navi's chase potential, right-click damage. Arrow's going to be off the mark here.
Trying to smoke up, but again, Goldblack on the front line, swapped in and taken down. Na'Vi punish him. General jumping forward with the Ronson and then a Sonic Wave as well. And oh my goodness, this could be the kind of the final seal into it. Unless always want to fly in Funny can do something big. Always want to fly, jumps in, gets off a nice magnetized by Hand of God, negating pretty much all of the damage done there. Seneko, he takes down one. He's going to look for a second with the rest of his team, and they're going to get it. 4 dead on the side of Team Spirit. Iceberg, magic missile up. He himself may be in trouble as well as Dendi jumps forward, forcing Iceberg back to the base. And at the least, there's going to be a second set of wrecks here. Going down on the side of Team Spirit. Na'Vi, 22 minutes in. The lineup, the draft, executed pretty much to perfection here. The Mirana safe lane. You know, if you're winning a game in 22 minutes, you can see the strength of the hero here and why Na'Vi would draft it in this situation.
Yeah, it's good for a multitude of reasons. Like, one, we saw the...
GG, well played.
Yeah, in the early game...
It's over.
As Team Spirit just tap out here, we saw the Moonlight Shadow save a hero. It only happened once, but it also gave them the ability to get another pick on Always Want to Fly later in the game. The arrows instantly kill Enchantress creeps, which is also very annoying for her because unlike Chen, she can only have around 2. Actually, I think she can have technically 3 if you have higher level enchant, but either way, you don't need to right-click the Enchantress this game because you just have so much magical burst that Goblak really never got to be that terrifying right-clicker that we so often see Enchantresses get to.
And he was always kind of, at the end of the day, the first to die in the team fights. He was always getting swapped out and beaten down upon.
There's just so much synergy in Navi's lineup that you don't necessarily think about. Like, even that last fight, like, arrow into swap. The arrow gave vision for the swap that ended up killing Goblak again when they were trying to defend the tier 3. And then, of course, you have to worry about, like, Queen of Pain burst damage, and he just got to go Yules first because he knows that there's so much damage on his team that he doesn't have to carry the damage.
Yeah, he just needs to stay alive and remove those silences, of course, from the rotation from the Night Stalker, which, just at the end of the day, they just weren't able to do enough, and partly because of that quick Yules timing. Dendi wasn't able to be punished.
And the other thing, too, is Wind Ranger in this game is really hard to use because once the Chen lineup starts getting together and you start 5-manning, you have kind of like this, all right, well, I don't really do a lot of damage yet. And he was going for an Aghanims build, which means you're spending 4,200 gold with no initiation potential, which I don't know if Blink would have changed the game, but I think it would have given them a better shot because their Night Stalker, I didn't feel Funnick's presence at all just because of the non-stop pushing potential that Na'Vi had. They never really went back. It's like we get Roshan, we push, you know, we maybe lose the high ground fight, but we didn't give up map control at a single point this game. And Night Stalker just doesn't work as well. Neither does Wind Ranger in those types of situations where you're just sitting inside of your base and you're getting constantly pressured. So well played by Na'Vi. It was a really good game.
And game 2 for the side of Team Spirit. Maybe we'll see a similar thing as we saw in the first series. If you didn't catch it earlier, Ad Finum, they took game 1 against Spirit with a very strat that they're obviously very confident in Ad Finum, and then Spirit were able to adapt to that and take them down in game 2. Maybe we'll see Spirit kind of deal with what Na'Vi bought in game 1 and try something a little bit different. Maybe have a chance of equalizing off the series and making it 1-1, or indeed we'll see if Na'Vi do indeed continue to still be back on form. Myself and Andy will catch you shortly for game 2 between Na'Vi and Team Spirit. But first of all, a short ad break and then back to the panel. See you guys about.